true consistency and dedication. Been watching with my brother since I was 12, now I'm 22. Real goat in this game and really inspiring. Still even remember those Marco Ryan Tyler days. Goodness, 10 years ago. So nice you haven't stopped. Thank you so much for your vids. Loved every single one of them. Wishing you more success. Mate, thank you so much for your comment. Really, really appreciate it. And thank you to all for returning for today's episode of Career Mode. What is going on, guys, and welcome back. It is episode number 22. We've got a brilliant episode returning with today as well, man. We've got more big games of the Premier League where I'll whisper this quietly, but I think Sunderland are back in. Yeah, it took a while. We're back on a good run. 5 wins in our last 6. We've got match days 5 and 6 of the Conference League, where 1 win is all we'll need to guarantee a qualification place. And we'll have the big one. I'm so excited for this. Carabao Cup away against Liverpool. Quarter-final as the backup brigade aim to do it once again. Knock out a big 6 team away and make the semi-final. So, yeah, great episode coming today. Really looking forward to it. Hope you guys are as well. And, of course, it will be a double upload day as well. So, please do leave a like if you want to show some support for the content. Our first of many games today, West Ham at home, is going to get back in a European place. However, lads, the run we were on earlier this season was just awful, absolutely awful. And those patches of the season are so difficult to play through as Trey blocks that early shot. But you just got to ride the storm. You know, it's one of those, I talk about it often, but like, unfortunately, in life, it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, and believe me, career mode seasons are the exact same, man. You're going to have patches where the weather is rough, it's very, very difficult to get things going, but you just got to get through it. Like, you've just got to play through it, because you know there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. We finally stepped into it, and we are now back in form. Right away, Sunderland in front, and we are definitely back to it. I ain't got to whisper it, we are back to our best. Try and squeeze in as many games as I can today. No matter what, I'm definitely playing the Liverpool game. No exceptions. That is definitely happening today no matter what. I'm so excited for it, man. Carabao Cup, quarter-final, Liverpool away, the backup game. It's just a nice little side quest, man. Like, sometimes when you're doing a long RTG save, you're doing a long career mode save, you need something within a season to make it a little fresh, you know, to make it a little different, a little unique. Something that gives you a bit of an extra feel to it, you know, and that's what it's, oh, Dingra rocket, that's what it's going to be for us in this Carabao Cup, man. You know what we're trying to do in Europe in the Conference League, you know what we're trying to do in the Premier League, you know we want to get back to the FA Cup final after getting there in season 1, but the Carabao Cup, yeah, it's not really a competition I'd ever care about, but this season it's got a nice feel to it, with that new kind of unique strategy we're going with, the backup brigade, the side quest, I like it. Oh, man, sorry, so cup of coffee is, it was early Sunday morning, and yeah, I need that. You know, like when I was younger, I never drank coffee. I've always liked tea. I've always liked a cup of tea, even since I was a teenager. But never drank coffee until like the last maybe 5 years. I've really gotten into it now. I'm not one of those like coffee snobs that, you know, has to have a certain brand. It's got to be freshly ground every day. No, I drink instant from Aldi. You know, I'm certainly not like that. But I do need a cup of coffee in the morning. Believe me. Yeah, my co-workers do not want to talk to me until I've had a coffee. I always used to think when I was younger it was so, oh, Dingra. Oh, Dingra. Oh, Dingra. I always used to think it was so dramatic when adults would talk about coffee as it was some kind of drug. I guess in a way it kind of is, believe me. I need it now to get me going. And this man just needs the ball to feet on the left-hand side to get going. Because when he steps in field, he was so dangerous. I would say the goal of the season compilations I've done in the last 2 years, by the way, thank you for the great feedback on them. I think in season 1 it was a tie between Xhaka and Adingra of who won the goal of the season. I think last year his goal against Southampton might have been the goal of the season winner. This guy, just like Vitali, when stepping in from the flank, is so dangerous. That'll be in the compilation, don't you worry about that. Sunderland, 3-0 up. Yeah, I might have whispered it earlier out of fear of jinxing it. I'm not fearing anything right now. The Black Cats definitely back in form. It's 6 wins in 7 in all competition. They're playing brilliant football in the process as well. And again, great to be getting some goals after the first 2 seasons, really, isn't it? I must say, I think the way we touched these sliders up has been a brilliant adjustment. Anyway, following the game, we'll jump straight into it on the back of that big win there against West Ham. Rio Ave away in Portugal, match day 5 of the Conference League phase. And don't forget, unlike the Champions League and the Europa League, there's 6 league phase games and not the 8. I'm massively in favour of that as well. I think 8 is too many in the league phase. But because we won our first 4, all we now need is 1 win from our final 2 to guarantee qualification and miss the playoff round. Let's get that first win here against Rio Ave and ensure we will bypass the playoffs. I never want to be one of those football fan old heads that criticises everything about the modern game and just constantly says, oh, it was better back in my day. Because I don't think that is true. I will always say I'm very fair with it, and there are things that I think have improved tremendously since I was a kid and I watched football back in the 90s and the noughties. Whilst I might miss certain things about that era, there's certain things that have improved the game a lot. And whilst there are also things I was sceptical about at first, I've now come round to and actually prefer it now as well. And one of those things is the change to the formats in the European competitions. Since I was a kid, it was always group stage, Champions League group stage, UEFA Cup group stage, and that was how things went. But over the past couple of years, UEFA, oh what a team goal that is, have changed it around completely to the point where now it's a league phase. And I must say I much prefer it. I much prefer the league phase over the group stage. I think it's far better. The only thing I would probably change is in the Champions League and the Europa League, there are 8 league phase games, and that to me is one too many, or two too many if you want to be accurate. But I think the Conference League get it spot on. 6 league phase games through varied opponents, not always playing the same team twice, or not never playing the same team twice. To me, that's a great addition from EA. I prefer that. I think I just said that's a great addition from EA. What I meant to say is that's a great addition from UEFA instead, as Rio Ave do find their leveller. But yeah, I'm not going to be one of those old head, man. I'm not going to be one of those old heads that says, oh, back in my day it was far better. There are things I miss from the 90s and noughties, believe me. But to me, this change in the format has made the league phase far more exciting than the group stage was, in my opinion, on the whole. Of course, it's all subjective. It's all subjective. Some people might say they prefer the group stage over the league phase, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. When it comes down to personal enjoyment over things, yeah, everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone's welcome to it. It's all subjective. No one's right or wrong. It's just personal preference. Just personal preference. It's why I never understand when people say things like, "Oh, X food item is rubbish." It's like, what? It's what? It's personal palate. Like, what are you talking about? I just can't really understand that. It's like, tomatoes are rubbish. What? What? I don't know. Anyway, great build up once again, and just couldn't pull the trigger as we're still tight, half an hour to go. And this would be a rubbish result, to be fair. There's nothing subjective about that. No disrespect to Rio Ave, but after a brilliant start to the league phase campaign, winning 4 straight, we should not be dropping the points here. We should be qualifying tonight as Diarra goes down, and our first injury of the season. And that is something of the bruise to me. And we've been waiting for this now. We need those more injuries, and hopefully now we're in Europe, we're going to get more too. Yes, the taste of a tomato might be considered subjective, but there is nothing subjective about analysing that draw. That was poor. Slow to get going. Might have got the opening goal, but didn't really do anything in the second half, and that is an underwhelming result there. The unbeaten run survives. We should have had qualification locked up tonight. That's what I've really enjoyed about this season, though, is that at the moment you don't really know what Sunderland team you're going to get. Like, we're very, very hot and cold. In some games we play liquid football, like the game against West Ham. In others, not quite the same. And this is bugged out again. As for the injury for Diarra, it was just a bruise, 5 days. Am I up in the sliders again? This is ridiculous. Why have EA done this? Why have they all but removed injuries from the game? By the way, I haven't touched the sliders since our last adjustment. And again, at the moment, I think we're getting good, realistic results. It's still quite unpredictable, and the score lines are good as well. But this is ludicrous. The injury frequency is 90. Does it need to be 99 in order to start getting more injured? This is actually mental. I'm going to up it to 92. I can't believe I'm saying even 92 might not be enough. But now this is what I want EA to work on. We got a lot of praise for them for this year's gameplay. As we know, it's really, really good and a marked improvement on last year. But this definitely needs work. Come on, EA. What is going on with the lack of injuries? Right, following game, we'll try and bounce straight back here. It's Fulham away in West London, heading to Craven Cottage. Right now, they're just above the bottom 3. It seems like every single season, there's a really solid team struggling in the campaign. And this year, it is Fulham. After last year, it was Brighton. But Marcus Silva's side away, only 1 win in their first 15 games, as we're going to get back on track here with a big 3 points. How are the lads? For anyone that watched me play last year, you will know I went on record of saying it was my least favourite version of the franchise I've ever played. And for someone that's played since '99, that is very strong criticism. As I said just a moment ago, it's all subjective, of course, but yes, in my opinion. And for my personal enjoyment, I certainly don't hope the gameplay reverts back to last year, that's for sure. Easy save by Roos, 5 after the restart, and still goal is here. I haven't got going yet. Really, really poor game once again, and I need to get a move on here. Definitely noticing a couple of things that appear to have been tweaked in this patch. One of which is I'm seeing there's a lot more space on the pitch now. And he says he gets tackled straight away. And it seems as though, to me, markers aren't tracking their runners. The defenders aren't really keeping in line with the... I mean, the defensive lines are all over the place. Vatawu almost scored the opener. There has been a bit of an issue with that at times in FC 26, but not as much as this. Not as much as this. It does feel as though something's changed a little bit here. This is something EA do seemingly every single year. After the base game seems decent, they modify a couple of things, and then it becomes a little too far in one direction, let's just say. I'm not overly concerned. There's, you know, we just started October, but yeah. Perhaps this last patch isn't all we were hoping for. Yep, do let me know what you guys think about the patch. I'm hesitant to give too many opinions on it because it's very early doors. I might be possibly misseeing things and just feeling the game out a little bit too much. But at the moment, it's... yeah, it does feel like it's tweaked a lot more from the first patch. Like the first patch EA released was a little bit of tweaking, a subtle change if you will. This feels a little stronger. Even so, it is back-to-back draws for Sunderland, so the unbeaten run extended to 9, but no wins in these last 2 games where really we should have won them both. And for the following game, it is FC Utrecht, final game of the Conference League. We have guaranteed a top 8 finish. I saw that after the Rio Ave games. We have bypassed the playoffs no matter what, but after no wins in these last 2 and only 1 in our last 4, could really do with kickstarting a run of form. Let's begin here. You know what? I'll take it back. I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. I think it's just me over-analysing it, to be honest, which is a common trait I've had throughout my entire life, just over-analysing every little thing. And cursed with perfectionism, never being satisfied with anything. But no, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's Gudmundsson finds a bit of space but can't pull the trigger. But what's not fine at the moment is the goals drying up in these last 2 games. Got one away in Portugal, but tonight, still tied at 0-0. And like I said, we have guaranteed qualification. We're through no matter what, but I would like to actually win one of our final 2 games. This is not the way I wanted to end what was a perfect European campaign. I remember when I first got diagnosed with perfectionism, and as a youngster, as a teenager, being naive about everything, but also thinking you know everything as well. I remember thinking, oh, I promise it's the crossbar. Oh, perfectionism, that means you just want everything to be perfect all the time. That's not that bad. And I was like, not really fully understanding what that means your life is going to be like when you overanalyze and criticize literally every single thing, especially that you do. It's a cracking ball out, and Vatawu finally gets us in front with 26 minutes to go. And then you realise there's a reason why every time you put jam on your toast, you get annoyed that it's not as good as you think it should be when it's just jam on toast. Yeah. Anyway, wonderful finish that for Vatawu. He's been on fire all season long, and finally, Sunderland do have the breakthrough. And that is going to do it. So we'll hold on and scrape the 1-0 victory, but back on track. That's the most important thing after only 1 win in our last 4 games. And it does mean we end the league phase, winning 5 of 6 and going undefeated, and finishing only in 2nd to AS Roma, who topped the league phase. Now earlier, do you remember when I was saying I prefer the league phase to the group stage? I think it's a really good change from UEFA. If there's one thing I would like them to tweak though, moving forward, is to make it so the higher the league phase finish you have, the weaker team you'll face in the knockout rounds as a reward for a higher seeding finish. Because whether we finish in 2nd place or 8th place wouldn't matter. Heading into the knockout stages, it is still a draw for who we'll take on in the last 16. I like UEFA to reward you for a higher league phase finish as opposed to just giving you more prize money. Anyway, back to the league for the following game, and a huge game as well. Heading into this one, Manchester United, only 1 point and 1 place separating us this season. Last season we finished just above them in the Premier League in the race for a European spot, and it seems like this season it's going to be the exact same again, battling with now Unai Emery's side for a European place for next season. Huge battle next on a 10-game unbeaten run. Red Devils at the Stadium alive. Free kick for Sunderland. And is there anyone I could whip in with the right foot? I'm tempted to go with Diarra here and just try something completely different, which I never do. Never do. But you know what? Why not? Oh no! Le Mans got down time. Has anyone ever scored doing it that way? I've never scored a low drilled curl shot towards the near post from a tight angle. I've never done it. I've caused a ricochet that way by drilling into the 6-yard area, but never scored that way. It would be amazing it came off though. And Mbumu almost got the opener going all the way. Coast to coast run. Roos makes the save. 2 decent stops by both keepers. I can only ever score a free kick one of 2 ways. Either smashed into the top near corner from very close range, 18, 19, 20 yards out, or bent over the wall into the top far corner, for the keeper I should say. That's the only way I can ever score free kicks. I can't knuckleball it. I want to. Oh, as Bobby hits the crossbar, Fatal keeps it in play, and Martinez gets it away. I want to knuckleball it, but I can't do it. I've practiced so much, but I just cannot score that way. Just find it impossible. Some people are experts at free kicks in these games. I am whatever the opposite of expert is. A noob, I guess. I just can't do it. This has been a brilliant start to the game, to be fair. Excellent beginning. Good passing, good moving, good football. All it's missing is the good finish. Speaking of Le Mans, I thought he had a pretty solid debut yesterday for Manchester United. I watched the highlights on Match of the Day last night, and maybe there was one shaky moment, possibly. But, you know, for a goalkeeper, young goalkeeper making his debut at a big club like Manchester United, and obviously the scrutiny that previous goalkeepers have had, I thought he handled himself quite well there. And let's see if that's all continue. Oh, Mukiele's going to go straight to Bruno Fernandes, who's found a bit of space, and his shot is well saved by Roos and kept in play by Fatawu. But both keepers in this game pretty solid. That's the reason why it's still 0-0. There's been good chances here, 7 after the restart, but as things stand, still goalless, mainly because of both shot stoppers. Let's see if we can break this deadlock here. Wharton, brilliant ball. Taubey doesn't. It's Le Mans again. Another great save. Played some good football in this game though. Really good football. Knocked the ball around nicely. And wonderfully done from Diarra, right on cue. Thank you very much. All that I'm missing at the moment is that clinical finish. I should have finished it there, but the adrenaline got the better of me. Took the shot on too early. But this time, it's nice. Le Mans again. Taubey controls it. Can he find a bit of space? He'll try and flick it through to Wharton. Cross comes in and headed away. Just missing that one clinical finish, and we'll have that breakthrough and possibly the win. And he's on there for Tawu. Can he get through? Yes, he can. Can he finish? No, he can't. Le Mans is on fire. We've got the Carabao Cup against Liverpool after this. I don't want to go into it on the back of what will be just 1 win in our last 4 in all competitions, and I think 2 wins in I was going to say a number, I just couldn't figure the number I wanted to say, so I said nothing but made a noise like a car tyre deflated. I think it's 6. I want to say 2 wins in 6, but it's not been great form anyway. And unfortunately, that does appear what the run is going to be. Hume on the overlap. In the middle. Robbie, it's Le Mans. This is an incredible goalkeeping display. One final chance. Can't go backwards. Trey on the overlap. Up it goes. Headed away. Flick down. Controlled. Promise. Oh, come on. Yes. First in the Premier League. Promise David wins it. And don't we deserve it? I would have been fuming had we not won that game. Le Mans on fire, Red Devils holding on, but deep into stoppage time. What a way to get your first Premier League goal. Scrambling the box, headed back in by Dan Neil, and what a finish off the underside of the bar. Goodness gracious, we left it late, but that late win to give us 2 extra points might have massive ramifications on the final league table. That's why I signed him. What a big moment from the big man. Right, let's do a couple more today, and we'll end with the final game of December against Newcastle United. Massive game there in the Tyne Wear derby. Before we get there though, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm so hyped for this. It is the Carabao Cup quarter-final. You know I normally don't care about this competition, but it's been a great side mission this season, and it will continue here. We're away at Anfield, and despite it being the last day and a chance at a semi-final place, I'm still playing the backup brigade. I'm staying true to my word. I'm sticking to my promise. The backup brigade will start once again. Away at Anfield, Carabao Cup quarter-final, as we aim to stun the Reds just like we did Arsenal in the last 16. How are the backup brigade? Actually, I was wrong. There's another game after the Newcastle game, but I want to end on that because it's Christmas Day and it's a Tyne Wear derby. Can you imagine that? Christmas Day, Tyne Wear derby. New viewers, you'll come to learn quite quickly that Docksy Boy is an advocate for. Oh, it's Cody Gakpo heads in a very early opener. Premier League football on Christmas Day. The NBA do it, man, and I'd love to see as a neutral. For those of us who may have awkward family relationships, strained relationships, whatever else, for those who may be alone on Christmas, yeah, football on telly, Premier League football, or even just getting to go to a game. That's what I'd love to see, man. That's what I'd love to see, even as a Christian. Anyway, 1-0 down very early on. Cody Gakpo's got the early opening goal, and I'll need some faith if I am to get back on level terms here. Well, we took the lead against Arsenal. We took 2-goal lead against Arsenal, but tonight it's the worst possible start. Win that. Yeah, we'll have it. Goodmanson plays it across. Talby finds a bit of space. Levers it just over the bar. With 7 to play. I must say I'm finding long shots almost impossible to score this year in FC 26. I've scored, I think, 1 goal from outside the area so far. That says it all. That was that Granit Xhaka screamer in Season 1. And that was from a dead ball situation. But they were a bit OP last year, so it's good that have turned them down. But anyway, still down by 1. We've actually played some decent football though, to be fair. We look pretty decent on the ball. And at the moment, I just need that little extra edge in and around the area to get myself that level. But it's coming. It's definitely coming. Christmas is at times quite uncomfortable. When you're a child of divorce, it just becomes very tricky. As anyone out there that does have parents that are separated will know, especially when the parents hate each other. You know, my mum and dad absolutely hated each other, even when they were married. I don't know why they were together, I really don't. And it just made Christmas very difficult after their separation. My dad actually passed away earlier this year. I mentioned that in the last episode, so no such issue in regards to who I spend Christmas with this year, if I do go down south, but oh, wonderful build-up. And Mundle! Oh, what a sound! Come on, got ref penalty! No! Matt Ashford tripped him! I've lost my train of thought. I think I was talking about a divorce, and now I'm talking about an injustice of a penalty not given. Surely that should have been a pen. Oh, I'm fuming. I'm absolutely fuming on that sideline. Absolutely livid right now. I am writing out 4 officials here. Speaking of the NBA, I'm doing the twirly finger motion. I'm doing the... I'm doing the video replay motion. I want to see that on the VAR. Surely Mahmoud Ashford tripped him there. I should have gone forward with Talby there. I didn't realise I had the space down the right. But 28 minutes to go. Oh, I'm not going to be happy this game finishes 1-0. Whether it was unintentional or not, great save pass and then a rebound turned in by Isak. That's just how football goes sometimes. You win some, you lose some. Isak doubles it, and we are probably going out here tonight. I'm just going to double check this on the highlighter if you don't mind. It was a brilliant first touch by Mundle. Excellent save by Georgie, but when he controls the ball here on the mid-drift, oh, do you know what? No, I was wrong. No, I was wrong. But booking for Docksy Boy for sure for that very aggressive confrontation with the 4th official. I was completely wrong. I always hold my hands up and accept when I've got something completely wrong. That's not a pen. That's not a pen. I thought initially Mawanishvili put the arm out and then tripped him, but no, it was Mundle falling over the head. That's the right non-call. I got that wrong. That's my bad. Speaking of things I'm an advocate for, including Christmas Day Premier League football, 15 plus DLC. I haven't discussed it in this year's CM yet, but for my longer term viewers, you will know I've rattled on about this for a long time, but for newer viewers, I've always been a firm believer we should be allowed 15 plus DLC, where things are a little bit spicier. Let's just say that, you know, you'll see in big games, in rival clashes, there's a few skirmishes, handbags being raised, so on and so forth, but also some confrontations with officials when there's controversial decisions like that. I just think it'll make the game more realistic, more immersive, and again, something fresh, you know, something different. But for that moment, I'll tell you what that is, that's a touchline ban, that is, because I was in that 4th official's ear, and I was not mincing my words at all. I was going at him. That's a touchline ban for Docksy Boy, and deservedly so as well, because that was never a pen. Never a pen. Anyway, still down by 2. This game is looking as though it's over. And we've played some decent football, to be fair. We've done all right. We've had a couple of decent chances. But it does appear as though our progress in the Carabao Cup is going to end here. Brilliant, famous win at the Emirates with the backup brigade. Oh! But not repeated tonight. Oh, foreign vert slips it through. Isak for free. Game over. Good night. And if it was ever in doubt before that moment, it definitely ain't now. We'll be going to his old team on Christmas Day, but unfortunately won't be going there, extending our unbeaten run and making the Carabao Cup semi-finals. I don't think I've played as badly as the scoreline suggests, but very weak on the defensive end. There is no denying that, and that is going to do it. Proud of the boys for knocking out Arsenal. That was one of the wins that has saved that, but lightning rarely strikes twice. It doesn't tonight. Liverpool punished the backup brigade and are into the Carabao Cup semis. Right, let's end on this. Our final game today. Super excited for it as well. It is indeed Christmas Day. It is indeed a Tyne Wear derby as we head to St James's Park, where of course we won last season by 2-1, and now let's see if we can beat them back-to-back in their own backyard. Heading into this, our unbeaten run might have ended there against Liverpool, but in the Premier League right now, really nice unbeaten stretch, and a win here should put us back in the top 4. So a huge game here against our Magpies. It always is, but even more so now as we're going to get back into Champions League place and end today's episode on a big win on Christmas Day. Our final game, Newcastle in the Tyne Wear derby. How are the lads? Alanga for Newcastle, trying to attack down his right-hand side. The former Forest and Manchester United man dispossessed by Mukiele. He's going to dink it, and it should be controlled by Diarra, and it is. As we're still tied at 0-0. Slow to get going here, 22 minutes into a cagey Tyne Wear derby. One of those really where neither side can afford to lose it. Both teams want to win it, but a loss would be a lot more disastrous than the benefit of a win would bring, if that makes sense. So that's why it's got 0-0 written all over it, especially with Sunderland right now. Low scoring, only 3 goals in our last 5 games, held scoreless in 2 of our last 4 as well. Starting to slow down a little bit. But all it takes is one big win and you're back on track. And there aren't many bigger wins than away from home against your big rivals. Wharton, lovely ball through. Diarra slips it through. Brobby's onside! Yes! Excuse me. Come on! And there is the opener. Brian Brobby ends his goal drought. 3rd in 18. Sunderland in front. There is a reason why I've persisted with Brian Brobby despite this long goal drought, and it's because he's a streaky scorer. It's what he does, man. We've seen it throughout the course. The save so far is Bruno Guimaraes levels for Newcastle right before the break. It's what he does, man. He'll go missing for a few weeks, and then out of nowhere, he goes on a run of like 6 goals in 7 games, and he's brilliant and unstoppable. And maybe that goal will reignite the fire. The Magpies find their leveler before the break, and Brobby's through again! It's what he does! He comes alive in the big games. He just needs winding up. And he's winding the Newcastle fans up. We're back in front instantly. Right at the start of the save, I said I was worried about my lack of goal-scoring options. And you guys in the comments said, Docksy, you got Brian Brobby in the reserve, son. You better give him a chance. You won't regret it. Oh, how right you were. He has been absolutely brilliant at stages. And that's the point, man. When he's on a run, he's almost unstoppable. Last year, he had his best season for us. He was the first player we had in double digits and got into the top 10 for goals in the Premier League. But it's just so well to break the press there. Oh, he's on. Oh! What a goal! And we're 3-1 up. Not probably but a dinger. He only scores nice goals. Sunderland 2 up at St James's. What a ball this is, by the way. Absolutely inch perfect. Brobby gets out of the way. And this is something I want EA to work on as well. It's the goalkeeper intelligence. Mike literally does not take a step forward to come and meet me out, and sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. We saw it in the last game of Mamadashvili coming off his line to make the save against Mundell, but sometimes they remain flat-footed, dead centre on their line. And if I'm being honest, it's a bit easy to walk as close as you can to them and then slot the ball either side, or in this case, to be fair, cheekily chip it over the top. But that is something that EA do need to work on. Goalkeeper intelligence. The goalkeepers have improved for this year. That is true. They do make a lot more saves, but sometimes their footwork... Oh, what a finish! What a game. Sometimes their footwork and intelligence is a little on the low side for top-level keepers like Mike is. Anyway, 3-2, what a game, what a Christmas treat this is. It's 3-2, 5 goals, and there's still half an hour to play. So trays all day, Zakani going nowhere there. And the skipper stands his ground. Can I slide that through the gap there? Yes, I can. And as we're still leading by a goal, almost there. And what a priceless win is going to be. How do you bounce back from a 3-0 thrashing away in a Carabao Cup quarter-final? How about this? Going to your big rivals away, hitting them for free, and going home with the 3 points as well. We're not there yet, but we're almost there. And we will be here. Game. Come on. And these are the games, man. I said this before, but these are the games that make the game so fun to play. And it's what I want EA to look at and work on. You know, they've said this year, the whole tagline of this year of FC26 is that apparently they're listening. Apparently they're more receptive to feedback. Prove it, EA. Prove it. These are the games that people want to play. It doesn't need to be a goal on every game. It never is, really. We've had plenty of 1-0s and 0-0s today, but on occasion, games like this are absolutely tremendous. What a thriller, what a win, what a Christmas cracker, pardon the pun. But that'll do it for today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Massive thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a brilliant day. I'll return later today with the double upload day for Sunday, of course. Well, we'll return with the January window open. Ends of the fee is going to go. We might make a signing. Now the FA Cup third round against Charlton Athletic, and more big games in the Premier League aim to build on what's been a really, really nice unbeaten stretch in the league. Have a brilliant day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.